Yes, everybody, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Hopefully you guys are all keeping well after what was a brilliant win last night. We got through to the next round. Man United next. We're going to take out both Manchesters before we reach our final of the League Cup. Looking forward to the Twitter reacts. I think someone in the comments before this said, or for a different stream, they were saying, now it's safe for me to go back on social media, which I actually loved. After the Crystal Palace defeat, we all can be safe as happy clappers heading back on towards the social medias. It's a safe place to go to. But really appreciate all the support that you guys show us. Hopefully you guys do enjoy these Twitter reacts. Putting them out live the next day has been actually, I think, a bit of fun, because it just allows, the tweets to just keep on going, have better material to pick from. And also just, especially after a win like this one, we get to relive it, a little bit more. But if you can for us, smash that like button. Do get into the comments, please, as we're going through this. But Dave, feel safe to go back on social media? Is that how you feel?
Yeah. Look, that's exactly how I feel, Jack. You know me, when we lose, I sort of just tend to switch off. I don't speak to anyone at all. I don't even speak to you half the time when we lose. I just go to sleep and that. So, when we win is when I really, really enjoy social media. When we lose, it just makes losing even worse because it feels like the end of the world is coming when you go on social media and we lose the game. So I'm absolutely buzzing. But look, Jack, it was a full moon last night instead of a blue moon. The cockerel is well and truly crowing. And then we're going to own Manchester by the time we're finished. Me and you like Manchester. We've both been. It's a good spot. But we're going to own it by the time we finish this Carabao Cup run.
Yeah, we're going to be conquering it. But everybody, good to see you in the house with us. We have Rekha Menon. Great to see you. Great name as well. They say they ain't believe in us, but who did? God did. The football gods did. That's for sure. DJ Samuel saying, we are Tottenham from the lane. Indeed, that is the case. DJ, Edward Joker Davis, never in doubt. Yeah, definitely never in doubt for yourself, Edward. I think you even said that on the fan show, and probably plenty of people, were maybe raising their eyebrows at your confidence. But I remember you, Edward, you were saying, you know what, we'll lose to Crystal Palace, we'll take that L, but we'll go on and we'll smack Man City. And I think I remember some version of that you said on the fan show. So I love the confidence from Eddie, and he's been definitely a good man by Ange Postecoglou, keeping his faith in the guy, and it was a great win indeed. Forrest Trimble, love the name, Forrest, saying, okay, now keep that up, Timo. Well, I don't know, maybe. I think that was just hopefully, maybe the start of a great run from Timo, but you never know. Maybe that was just one night, once in a blue moon type of game. Forrest Trimble, you never know. Mark is saying afternoon. Good to see you, Marky, member of the Mark Army, and really appreciate your support for this channel. Jimmy Hotspur saying big up guys in chat and good afternoon. Hopefully you're okay, Jimmy, this afternoon. Kieran Spiteri saying, hey, Dave, big up, man. Honestly, seeing Timo finally scored made my day. Honestly, feel sorry for the lad, but hopefully with that goal he just did brings him confidence back up about time. I think people are just hopeful for even more Timo glory.
Look, I did say all week to Jack that I thought it was going to be the sort of game where Timo actually rocks up and scores. So to be honest, I wasn't surprised. I had my song ready in the back, ready to go here on, but we can say he scored and the confidence would be sky high, but he missed an even better opportunity straight after that. So it's sort of like, I think that's just what you're going to get with Timo Werner. Look, I still think he's damaged goods, but thank you very much for stepping up when we needed you in the fourth round. And, let's see if he can do it again.
Let's see if he can do it again, indeed. Robert Hardy saying hello. Good to see you, Robert. Keith Edwards saying getting worried about Dragishin. Yeah, well, we're going to probably need to depend on him, this upcoming few games. J Mac saying big up Davo and Jack. Good to see you, J Mac, with us. And then Donovan Osterreicher, Mickey Van de Poo. Unfortunately, he has got some pooed out hamstrings at the moment, Donovan. And we'll hope that they can recover them. Dragishin was excellent, says Mark. A few people felt like Dragishin was excellent. I think he warmed into the game. I think he started off quite poorly, but I think he did get a little bit better and better. It's just in possession, he really worries me, Mark. He sketches me out every now and again. He'll have moments where he'll just give away the ball for no reason, or he'll pump it long when he really didn't need to. He doesn't seem like he has that confidence, to take an extra touch, maybe really try to pick out a pass, between the lines of the midfield. He's just a guy that doesn't strike me as a very confident player in possession. And to be honest, I think that's a really crucial, really important facet of being a center back under Ange's system. But now here's his chance, I guess, to improve in that department in those areas of his game.
Do you know what? Defensively, when I sort of went back and looked back on it, I think there was a couple of good crucial moments, but there was also moments where he lost his man running in behind him a couple of times. It's just on the ball. I find him very erratic. I find him very nervy, to be quite honest with you, Mark. He doesn't, like when Romero gets the ball and he's under pressure, to be honest, I don't really sweat. When Van de Ven gets the ball, he's under pressure. I don't really sweat about it. When Dragoson's getting the ball and someone's within 5 yards of him, I really panic, and he needs to be a lot more short in possession. If not, he's not. He's not going to break up the partnership of Van de Ven and Romero, but it looks like he's going to have a little stint now. So let's see what he can do. His agent certainly thinks he's ready, so he better be right.
Jacko, what happened to the Yankees last night? Ouch. Yeah, it was a bit of an ouchies. Seeing them go 5-0 up and then to bottle it like that, pretty painful to watch, to be honest. J Mac, it's just, yeah, like I said, couldn't really care for the Dodgers. And I do have a slight respect for the Yankees, kind of like, like I would for like a Real Madrid or something like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, the Yankees have probably won enough, over their course of history. So I guess it's good to see somebody else win the World Series every now and again. Okay, Jack will downgrade my rating to okay, says Mark. Yeah, I don't need to convince you or anything, Marky. It's okay. You're welcome to say he played well. And like I said, I think he improved, throughout the game, especially defensively. It's just in possession. I do have some worries, and it's a good opportunity for him, I think, to improve in that department. You were saying big up to Daniel Sandoval, I believe.
Oh yeah, big up to Daniel Sandoval and big up to Rob Hardy as well. So big up, guys, big up. But just quickly, how this is going to work. What we'll do is we'll go through some tweets and that, and then we'll find a good sort of midway point, and then we'll get back into the comments, go through comments again, and then get back through the tweets, just to try and find a healthy balance that you guys prefer.
And then Dark Sun G, before we get stuck in, says, come on, you Spurs, really happy we beat City for the revenge in the FA and Carabao. Also, I saw a lot of tweets, Dark Sun G, about how City technically owed us a favor after how we handed them the title in last year's campaign. So they technically owed Spurs a favor. They needed to give us a win, and they repaid their debts, Man City. And we seem to have that nice relationship with them where we're their bogey team. They probably would prefer that we be their bogey team than maybe any other side, to be honest. And then also as well, we helped give them the title last year, and they just, in true honorary support of Tottenham Hotspur, they gave us the win today. So it's just a nice transaction, a good exchange, and I think all parties should be happy. It seemed like even Man City were happy that they lost. They were all smiling practically after the game got knocked out. They didn't really seem that keen on going into the next round anyways, Dark Sun G.
Do you know what, Dark Sun G? I just think last night was such a huge win for Tottenham Hotspur for many reasons. There was a lot of questions after the Palace game about the players, their attitude. There was rumblings, from the fan base that has Postecoglou lost the dressing room. But I also think if we would have lost last night, I think there would have been a lot of pressure on Ange Postecoglou, because Spurs fans don't like going out of the cup. So that win last night really sort of eases things a little. There was also questions. Tottenham don't beat big teams under Ange Postecoglou. Well, we went and beat Man City last night, and I don't care if people want to say to me, Dave, it's Man City's second or third team. I really don't care. They're all quality players. That's why they're at a club like Man City. And in fairness, they gave us a good game, and we had to come through our own adversity. Van de Ven came off injured, a huge Tottenham player. We had to make substitutions, bring on the likes of Ben Davies, people like that. So it was a fully well-deserved win. It was a big win. And hopefully we can follow up on Sunday against Aston Villa, Dark Sun G, because that will send me into absolute delirium, because that game is the day before my birthday. So it'll send me into delirium if we win that. I'll have a great birthday.
Go from 1-0 loss to Crystal Palace to beating Aston Villa and Man City in the same week. That would be glorious now, wouldn't it? And good to see so many other people in the house. Thank you for the support, Dark Sun G. Thank you to Jimmy Hotspur, Robert Hardy, Scott Heinem, and Queen Ellie Bergvall, as well as Michael W. for joining us. Jack. Really appreciate you guys. Yes.
I'm on a lag, so is it okay if I log out and log back in?
Yeah, and I'll try to add you back in. Hopefully it'll be a little bit better. There is a little bit of a lag there. But we'll get this started up, everybody. Finn saying Pop Sarr in the Europa League and the Carabao Cup. Pop, from having maybe a pretty, let's say, underwhelming or maybe not to the best of what we know he can be sort of start to the season, and especially in preseason, he just looked a little bit off it. He has been cooking recently. He's been looking good in recent performances. Pop Matsar, he's been probably one of our best players in the Europa League. And then also just recently in these cup games, he's looked absolutely fantastic. Going to add Dave back in here with a fresh link. Hopefully it's a little bit better this time around. Maybe just slight slightly less lag, slightly less delay between ourselves. But yeah, I think Pablo Sarr, he's looked like prime Kron. He's looked like prime Ronaldo at this moment in time as he's coming back into his best sort of form. And he's, he offers something different. He works hard. He knows how to get up and down the pitch. He has been providing goals as well. I think we have to think about that. He provides goals in maybe a different way than other players do. He can get us a long shot. He can pop into the box, maybe for a set piece, or he can make a late run, as a box to box type midfielder. He just does a lot of things maybe slightly differently to some of the other midfielders. And what a goal it was. And a lot of people have been showing praise for that goal. We have you back in here, Dave, and we'll let you get your response to this one. When the Spurs South stand is like this, Dave, I think you would like this one.
Do you know what? I absolutely love it, Jack. Just look at the delirium on their faces, how happy they are. They're all flirting with each other. I absolutely love to see it. It's great. This is what being a Tottenham fan is all about. Or it's what being a fan of Tottenham or football in general is supposed to be about. Not doom and gloom after losing games. This is the feelings we live for. People work so hard Monday, 9 to 5, spend a third of their wages, to go to the game at the weekend. And it's all for this sort of feeling like that.
Donovan saying, how was the chippy last night, Dave?
Wasn't a chippy now, Donovan. That's a bit different. That's kebabs and taco fries and garlic bacon cheese fries and stuff like that. It was Indian. It was triple carbs last night. Naan bread, fried rice, chips, and chicken korma. I'm not gonna lie. After Man City, you just tasted that. It's a bit better. I think the chef must have been a Tottenham fan.
That's a bit crap. It must have been. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club says, Carly.
Stupid, so I mean, like, they are good, but sometimes also stupid, so
it hurts that he said it.
It's amazing. From Timo. It's actually a great quote. I think Timo will forever be in Spurs' hearts for that quote. The Spurs, they can be great sometimes, but also stupid. And I would agree with that. The Mark saying need to sort out the back post defending. Yes, I think there is actually a very good tweet on that, Mark, that we have at some point. MB Joker Davis with the support. Thank you, Edward, saying, well, it's Davo's birthday. Happy birthday to the big man. What is your birthday?
No, next Monday. Monday
yeah,
coming.
No, I think Edward's just wishing it nice and early, just so he knows that you can remember him. But Dave, what's your ideal birthday? Quickly, like, what's the, is it a casual one? Is it one surrounded by friends and family? Are you kind of one of those guys that likes to spend the birthday kind of by yourself, doing your own thing, not having to worry about others? How do you go about your birthday?
I like
your ideal.
I like a good mix. Before I used to be able to wait for FIFA, or I had to wait for FIFA. I had no choice, and I'd get it on my birthday, and it was sort of like, go and get FIFA, come home, chill out, relax. But now I can't wait. I have to get it on the day it comes out. So it's changed a little bit over the years. But for me, ideal, head round to the parents, get the sisters around if they can, early enough, get the cake done, spend a bit of time. Everyone can tell me how great I am, shower me with gifts, stuff like that. And then basically come home, get attention off the missus, stuff like that. And then an hour or two in the evening of Xbox on my own. Perfect.
Yeah, that does sound ideal. Everybody get your birthday ideal days in the chat. If you're someone who likes to spend it alone, just kind of doing your own thing, not having to worry about others, or if you're someone who likes to plan a big event, a big party, have all the good friends and family around to celebrate with you, let us know, everybody in the chat. Always good to know what the birthday plans are like.
I don't like big parties. I hate them. It's just like, it means I have to be there for a designated amount of time, and I can't really leave early, so I don't like them. I just simple, round, quick family around me, and then home.
Dave's present should be a Carabao Cup trophy. I think so there, Kieran. I think so. Troll Football saying Tottenham when they play Man City at home. Look, it's Casper Schmeichel. I can't even recognize half of these players. Maybe that's Rubinho in there, the old Rubinho, the one that never ended up being,
Is that young Jovetic?
I don't know if Jovetic is in there. I don't see him in there. I don't see Jovetic. I wish I did. Maybe Micah Richards is in there as well, but I just found that very funny. It does seem like Spurs are never phased by Man City. We're intimidated by every other team we play. Newcastle away, we shit in our pants, but then when it comes to Man City, at home or any situation, we have no fear whatsoever. Ben Davies, even struts out there, fully confident against
You
a
turn
Man
into the
City.
Galacticos.
Mr. Black saying, not bottling a 2-1 lead against Manchester City isn't for everyone.
Oh, brilliant.
Very good. Mickey Hazard, good to see Mickey in here saying, you know what, we are on the right path. We have good players who are capable of being and looking a very good team. It's just the inconsistency of the mind that slows our progress down. Think like winners all the time. Come on, you Spurs. I thought this was a great tweet from Mickey, don't you think?
100%. And look, this is a guy that's been there, done it, and knows what it takes, right? And this is what I was saying, Jack. You got to think like winners all the time. You can't go on a 7-game streak and then all of a sudden take your foot off the gas. That's where the hard work starts. And if you're thinking like a winner, they recognize that. Real recognizes real. So big up Mickey Hazard.
Dakaru is saying birthdays are being a little selfish for kicking back and relaxing. I agree. Donovan Osterreicher saying food, close friends, good times, and a Spurs wins are the best birthday. And then Dark Sun G with the support. Thank you again, Dark Sun G, saying this shows this is the best squad we have had in a while to compete for cup games. Look at what happened in previous seasons. Our Deadwoods would bottle against easy opponents. I mean, think about the times, Dark Sun G would be like Ryan Sessegnon playing left wing, for us, in some of these cup competitions. It got pretty ugly in a lot of games. You had Sanchez, Dyer as the back line with Tanganga right back. And then you have Sessegnon playing as like a left winger in a 4-4-2. It's just, there was that one day under Antonio Conte, I remember against Chelsea, where we had so many injuries and the team that he fielded that day was just disgusting. I think it was like Bergvine and Kane up top. We didn't have any Sonny or any Lucas or anyone available. We went like Doherty at right mid, Sessegnon at left mid with like Bergvine and Kane up top with like Winks and Lo Celso in midfield. It was just disgusting to look at. And no longer do we have to deal with that anymore. No longer.
Well, if you remember, there was a while there, last season or season before, me and Jack brought up all the embarrassing cup exits, and I'll just have some from the FA Cup alone over the last few years. Sheffield United, Middlesbrough, Everton, Norwich, Palace. They're our last sort of, from 18-19 to 2023, there's 5 embarrassing cup exits just in the FA Cup alone. On top of that, you have the Europa Conference League. You have some in the League Cup as well. We've been absolutely embarrassing, and I agree with that extent. Don't get me wrong, the squad's nowhere near perfect or as good as it could be off the back of what we could have done in the summer. There's still things needing. We still need leaderships to emerge. We still need a backup left back. Now Van de Ven is out. We've now down to 2 centre backs, so we need more options there. There's still work to do on this squad, but I do agree that in terms of the squad that we've had in years gone by, we are handling these cup games a lot better. Coventry, many people were fearful when we got them away from home because of what's happened in some of them cup exits that I've read out. We got over the line. We beat Man City last night. Europa League, okay, we beat Karabag, Ferencváros and AZ Alkmaar. But in Europa Conference League, which is supposed to be a downgraded competition, we lost the likes of NS Mora, Vitiz, Patros de Ferreira, teams like that. So we are in a better position in terms of squad-wise, but I'm not naive to know that we've got a lot more to do.
No, I really agree with you there, Dave. El Dante, good to see you. Thanks for joining us. Mark just casually reminding you, Colchester, Dave. let's try.
Oh yeah, that was on the potch. That was the Carabao Cup. Yeah. Keep them coming. Keep them coming in.
Let's try to forget them as quickly as we can.
We're going to play bingo. Tottenham bingo. Cup exit bingo.
Tottenham cup exit bingo. Oh my gosh. Going to make me grimace throughout this whole stream. Big up to Mark. Really appreciate that. Thanks for reminding us. And also Dark Sun G. Really appreciate the support. And I think a lot of people in the chat seem to be agreeing with you that the squad is coming together and that there isn't really that fear of, any deadwood, coming into the team that could really unravel things or unravel things, if you know what I mean. So absolutely right from Dark Sun G and Davo there. Patty Power is saying 51 minutes. Timo Werner gets put clean through on goal and blasts it well wide. Now nature is healing after they said Timo Werner has finished clinically and scored a goal. ? Truly, we live in strange times. 1-0 Spurs. Patty Power is by far one of the best Twitter accounts out there. That is just absolutely brilliant from them.
When Timo Werner leaves. When Timo Werner leaves, that double tweet there just sums up his time at Tottenham Hotspur.
It's a rupture in the fabric of the universe when he scored. Pop Sarr versus Man City, Dave.
Jack, it's so true. You know, Papa Sarr's goal last night was absolutely incredible. Do you know what? I felt disappointed that he had to come off after picking up the yellow, but what a strike. And he's been so influential in these cup games. Like, we've spoken years gone by about squad players coming in, right? And there's almost been these excuses made for them where it's like, well, they're only playing once every so often. What do you expect them to do? Well, I've always said, no, it comes down to attitude, application, and hunger. Papa Sarr has that in abundance, and he's been a massive help in terms of popping up with goals and assists to be able to help us get over the line in these games.
More Tottenham club bingo here. Port Vale says Jimmy Hotspur. Berbatov's halftime smoke reminding us of Stoke. Robert Hardy reminding us of Leyton Orient. It's just going to get worse and worse and worse now, isn't it? Drawing with, I don't even remember this one. Drawing with Altrincham. Altrincham?
That's probably before I was even born. I hope that's before I was even. If that happened in my lifetime, it shows how bad it was. That, you know, I've put it to the back of my memory.
I think Dave
But
would have
that's
retired.
definitely before my lifetime for sure.
I think Dave would have probably retired from football had he had to witness that. So you're a strong man there, Jimmy
I
Hotspur.
don't think I'd be a Spurs fan if I witnessed that, to be honest.
The reaction
That'd be a hard one to take, that.
The reaction to Timo's goal, Dave, from the team. Everybody buzzing. Jed Spence, Sonny, everyone looking good. Wilson Odebear laughing hysterically.
Looks like Milan Fashion Week there, you know, but between some of the players not playing there. It's like they're having a competition. But do you know what? It's great to see, because although us fans get frustrated with Timo Werner, no doubt the players do, but in that dressing room, they, you know, because they're all footballers and they all sort of go through the same thing, they will be feeling for him and they'll know the relief, you know, for him and stuff like that. So it's good to see. And do you know what? It shows a bit of togetherness, Jack. It shows that they are all rooting for each other, which is good.
And another thing maybe I'd quickly add, and I'm curious if anybody has any responses to this in the chat, but whenever you watch sometimes other teams play and they have an injured player that's pretty important, you know, to the starting 11 or just to the team in general, oftentimes you see them sitting like up in, you know, kind of a booth somewhere, kind of in a VIP box, really far away from the game, really far away from the action. You kind of see them, they're kind of just chilling, sitting on their phones, you know, playing Candy Crush or whatever while the game is going on. And I actually appreciate that you have Jed Spence, Wilson Odebear, and Sonny right up front, you know, with the players, with the fans, engaged in the game, you know, watching it intently. I actually appreciate that. And I don't know if that's always the case whenever you watch certain teams. Like even just recently, I saw, I think it was Bukayo Saka as well as Martin Odegaard, you know, for an Arsenal game. They were sitting way up, you know, in like the VIP areas and just didn't seem like they could be bothered, you know, to watch the game. Whereas you have, you know, our three guys right here just, you know, glued in and ready to cheer on our man Timo, which shows a good team atmosphere.
Two things there just quickly, and you're absolutely spot on there. You're well pointed out, actually, and it's great to see. One, Ange nearly knocked out the lino when Timo Werner scored. And the second, I want to know who's the best dressed between Udabear's son and Jed Spence. Personally, I'm going for Jed Spence.
Yeah,
Who wants to
me too.
see Dave rock up in an outfit like that for a Tottenham game? That's class. Spurs bucket hat, Spurs jacket, beautiful.
Suave, very suave. Mark saying because they don't want to sit with Levy Jack. Yeah, probably just stand as far away as possible. That's probably actually what it is. Maybe you don't want to give him too much credit. Great point there, Marky. Darkson G earlier saying, and our squad is great, but our depth is horrible. In certain areas, yes. Like we didn't get a left back this summer, Darkson G. Again, that is just one of those ones I just still do not understand. Still don't get why we ignored bringing in a backup fullback. It's one of the areas that we just continue to hurt ourselves. It's part of the reason why even Mickey Van de Ven is injured, I think, is because we didn't bring in a backup fullback. In the forward areas, I felt like we should have brought in, you know, higher quality players. But, you know, at the end of the day, like we do have very young, talented guys that eventually will be very top of the line candidates and players. It's just, like, I don't know, we broke it down the other day, Darkson G. I think Johnny said it really well. I'd give our window like a 9 out of 10 on outgoings, like a 9 out of 10 when it comes to bringing in young, talented players for the future. I'd give that like another 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. When it came to bringing in guys for the squad for the here and now, it's like a 3 out of 10, you know, kind of for me. It just wasn't really enough done. But for the most part, I am much happier with this squad than I am in previous years. It's not saying that I'm totally satisfied or anything like that, but I do think it is better than what we've had in previous renditions, previous seasons and managers. But Dave, he's saying the depth is horrible. Would you agree with that the depth is horrible?
To a certain degree, I think some people still maybe look at the bench and go, "Oh, do we have the game changers that we really need off the bench?" I think for me, the biggest takeaway when I look at that squad is no matter who comes in, we can still play a specific brand of football. We don't have to deviate. We don't have to adapt. When you bring in players, it doesn't really downgrade what we're trying to do. No matter who's at this squad right now, we can still play a specific way. Everyone's of a technical ability and everyone can play this manager's style of football. Whereas in years gone by, managers were started dealing with riffraffs from 3 different 4 squads, different directions, etc. So they had their 11, which wasn't perfect. And then when they had to make alterations, substitutions, it just completely fell off altogether. So I think that's the biggest difference in this squad than in years gone by. But there are areas where we do need to address. We still need to we need to get more competition for Brennan Johnson. We need more across the back line. Backup goalkeeper is something that I know a lot of Spurs fans, highlight a lot of the time. So it's not perfect, but it's getting better. But this is the thing at Tottenham. It always takes longer than everybody has to get there. But what we need is Ange to stay in the job next summer so we can keep building that squad depth. And then eventually we'll have a squad fully for one manager.
Yeah, love that. And I think that's our, maybe horrible seems like a strong word from you, Darkson G, I'll be honest. I understand, maybe that you feel like we're lacking in the left back and center back areas, but that's kind of the only area that I'm maybe really frustrated with.
Let's know what you think is horrible about the squad depth, Darkson G, so we have a better understanding, my man.
He did kind of say left back and center back, which I'd agree with, but, I wouldn't say that.
But there is horrible depth there, to be fair, Jack, there, because it's non-existent.
Exactly right. So it's horrible in that department. But as a whole, I'm not so sure, Dark Sunji. I think I'm still pretty satisfied with certain areas. KNZ saying, does he love Tottenham? Well, you can tell from that. Dejan Kulusevski certainly does. He's passionate when he gets good performances like that one. James saying, about to head into surgery to give Mickey Van de Ven my hamstring.
Best
of luck to you. Best of luck to you. Get that cartilage out. Plus, Dave Dag saying, why are they showing us Arsenal's formation?
It's so true, though. They play such dour football. I'm telling you, if once they stop competing for the Premier League, they're going to want Arteta out. It's so crap. It's so defensive as well. Like what drives me mad is if anyone remembers when they got the man sent off against Man City, everyone praised them for how well they bunkered down, everything else. When we go down to 10 men, we just go and play the same way, go and win games. We get no praise for it. It's a joke.
Dark G following up saying left back and center back, those are the key parts for Ange's system, so it's horrible in my opinion. Everywhere else is great. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Dark G. I would agree with that. Team Harris checking in. Good to see you, Daniel Harris. He was at the game last night. Hopefully he had a terrific time, Mr. Harris. And he said that place was rocking. By the sounds of it, from on Twitter as well as just in general, it seemed like the fans really were up for it that night and actually created an even more special atmosphere than they usually do. So that's thanks to having one extra Harris probably in the building. Big up to you, Daniel.
Look, we bring the love, we bring the passion, and we bring the songs. I do it here on YouTube because I can't get to the games and everyone enjoys it. So Dan does it at the stadium. We're dividing and conquering, Jack, me and Daniel. But it's great to see the Spurs stadium like that. I got sent a load of videos last night of after the game, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Give yourselves a pat on the back because you helped the boys get over the line last night.
Kin G saying Manchester City players and Guardiola after the exit. I mean, I said that to you before we recorded, Dave. I mean, they were practically smiling, when they got knocked out.
It's like Haaland and Akanji couldn't believe, Guardiola went through with his words. It's like they have a private joke in the dressing room. I think it comes back to what you said. We handed them league last year, so they've done us a favour.
Yeah, they just knew the transactional display. Zeus saying, I wish I could donate my hamstrings to BDV. I think everyone wishes they could. Mr. Black
I'm sorry,
saying,
Zeus, but the other guy got there before you. He got a picture and all up.
It's like a list for kidney donations, but you're just putting yourself at the very top of the list.
You can give him the right hamstring.
Take him out right now. I'll hand him over, please. Just take him away from me. Give him to more deserving man. Mr. Black saying, knocked Manchester City out. Van de Ven, serious injury.
It's so true. It's so true.
Kane from the lane saying, Dad, who was Dejan Kulusevski?
That would be me as head of the Kulu fan club when I have to explain, to future generations how good Kulu is.
And then after the league, we're a cup team. Alpha Ange. The internet is insane.
It's fine. Some of the stuff people can do is a joke.
It's just some of those, like him with pointing with that face, is just hilarious. But Alpha Ange, everybody, in case you needed to see it. Cootie with Kulusevski's Player of the Match award. Good to see it.
Do you know what? He won man the match last night, did he?
No, I think Kulusevski did, but you could argue Romero was almost deserving of it if he hadn't been subbed off.
Can't believe I let you talk me into taking him out of my poll.
Jeez,
that was a boo-boo.
Was it Romero?
That was a boo-boo on us last night.
Was it Romero that I talked you out of, or was it someone else?
I don't know. I wanted to put Kulu in. I gave 4 names, and then I said Kulu, and then you're like, I don't know. I think we should put Werner in. So I ended up, pandering down and putting Werner in. I think we had a massive boo-boo there last night.
Oh, no. Giga Chad says, Kieran Spateria, Giga Ange. That's for sure. The Big D, good to see you with us. Hopefully you're okay. The Big D.
Good to see you all, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying. Seems like people are really enjoying today.
Nice going into work today, saying not getting absolutely hammered by the Arsenal and Man United fans. Chest is out. Yeah, keep that chest out, the Big D. These are the days as Spurs fans you truly do get to enjoy. You get to celebrate. Just get to feel good about your team. Absolutely love that. Carly saying, Kulusevski, what a player.
Really good. It's a really, really good player.
What do you like about it?
Everything.
Guardiola, Dave. He loves Kulusevski. Everything about him.
Yeah, I wouldn't blame him. I think, having that player running through the middle, how strong he is, how quick he is with his feet and stuff like that. I think Guardiola would love someone like him.
Spurs saying, I'm so proud of that win. Solanke could barely jog by the end. What a hero. Richarlison's wide defending was immense. Decky, best player on the pitch. Archie recovered and held the wing in check in the second half. Brilliant stuff. Come on, you Spurs. I actually agree with a part of the summaries here from PropSpur. Solanke pretty much ran until he dropped to the ground. Yeah. And then Richarlison, Dave, I actually did think he wasn't that helpful for us in possession. He missed a really good chance, and then he was a little bit clunky when he did have the ball. But defensively, that dude does work his tail off, Richarlison, and he did help us out a lot in that department. And I would argue that Archie Gray got better and better and better as the game went on. He had a rough first half against Nunes, but in the second half, probably not nearly as dangerous of a half for Nunes.
Do you know, I thought Archie Gray, if you go back and look at the game all game long, he was actually superb on the ball. Really, really good on the ball. He had a bit of a 15-20 minute spell where Nunes started to get the better of him, but he recovered very, very well. And you know what? For an 18-year-old kid, that's all you can really ask for. There are going to be mistakes. But he learned from Nunes. He got a 15-20 minute difficult spell, but he was mature enough to be able to pull it together and put in a decent display. Richarlison practically playing left back at some points last night, helping out on the press, not allowing him to get easy crosses into the box. Fair play to him, but he's a striker. I would like to be talking today about him making it 3-1, instead of his defensive praise. And Solanke, to be honest, I'm just starting to feel so sorry for. Anytime he makes a good run, the ball is over, hit, under, hit, to the left, to the right. It just will not go his way right now. But just keep mucking in because his performances are very good. And I think Donovan was saying yesterday, takes Solanke off, and I was sort of saying, I'm not sure we should, because he's holding up the ball. He's giving us a good out ball. He's a good sort of willing runner up there as well. And look, I think we pointed out at 70 minutes, Jack, he was absolutely tanked. He could barely move.
But he still was running, that was the thing, right? He still was, getting himself up and moving himself about. And apparently he dropped to his knees even after the game, as well. He just couldn't even run anymore. Absolutely crazy shift from him. Jay Harris saying, yeah, there it is. There's the tweet. That's what I was thinking of. Jay Harris saying, Dominic Solanke drops to his knees in exhaustion. Vicario and Dragishin bear hug each other. Tottenham had to suffer in the second half, but they got the job done. That's what I really liked about the performance, Dave, was in the first half. I thought we were by far the better team in that first half. We were all over Man City. We were really creating a ton of chances. We should have been up 3-1, 4-1, it felt like in that game. But then in the second half was something a little bit different. It was a game of, really suffering, digging deep, working hard for each other, showing that element of being a team and trying to see the game out. So in a way, we got two different performances. And you and I said that after the watch along that, we played well in that first half, but in the second half, you got something a little bit different from Spurs. You got like a real togetherness in that second half. So I'd agree that it was a second half where we had to suffer, but they suffered very well.
No, 100%. I think in the second half, there was a long period there where we maybe played on the counter-attack. And look, we had our chances, right? We could have put them to bed, Werner, Kulusevski, and Richarlison. But it was a team where everybody mucked in and worked together, and they had to. They couldn't let another 2-0 slip like they did against Brighton. It would have been unforgivable from a fan's point of view. So showed a bit of maturity, showed a bit of fight, and hopefully we can muster that and bring it to the Villa game on Sunday.
Absolutely right. Kieran Spiteri, thank you for joining us. Happy Halloween to you as well. And also best of luck with the new
Happy
kitchen
Halloween.
and taking care of that one. And maybe you're going to name it after a Spurs player if you haven't already given it a name already. Big up, Kieran. And hopefully you're doing okay this Halloween. But let's keep the show moving. Thank you to Donovan Osterreicher for sending in the support saying, let's bask in this. But my eyes are on Villa hungry. Dave, are you hungry for more?
Look, I am hungry for more, Jack. You know me. I was moaning. You had to put up with me moaning all last year without any midweek football. We've had, 3 games in 6 days? This is what Spurs fans want to do. Sit down and watch their beloved Tottenham Hotspur. And look, we've got the villains on the weekend. Hopefully it's us that turns up to be the villains and ruin their day. And I would say I don't think we can afford to lose, because I think if they win, it puts a massive gap between us and them at top 4 already. And it's going to be hard to claw back. I think it'll go to 6 or 9 points or something like that. So we really do need a result there Sunday, Donovan. Big game, but I'm basking in this one right now. I won't worry about that game until Sunday morning.
Basking in this win for right now, but then we'll get into business mode come the weekend when we go into Aston Villa, Donovan, and we'll be hosting them as well. We kind of owe them a bit of a revenge, because I remember last time we ended up hosting them, they actually got the points, and I felt like we deserved more out of that game because we had played so well. We just didn't put away our chances, and then Villa just kept getting goals against the run of play. So it's important that we get the win this time around and climb further and further up that table. We have a real opportunity to either slip down the table or climb further up that table. So completely agree with you there, Donovan. And I like to see that you're in business mode. You're looking forward to the next one, my friend. Love to see that. Marley just pointing out, or Mari saying their reaction to Timo and Sarr's goal. I think we got a bit of that earlier. Just lovely to see. And Dave feels like Jed has the best outfit. Let us know again, everybody, if you prefer one outfit or over the other. Also, M saying, just imagine Arteta's Arsenal trying to do this against Man City and then just burst out laughing. It was a terrific goal. Let's be perfectly honest. A lovely, lovely goal. And it does come also from that brilliant flick from Brennan Johnson. What a flick that was that he did onto Kulusevski's path. And then Kulusevski with a brilliant cross out wide to Timo Werner. Axel THFC saying Dejan Kulusevski has 7 goals and assists in 6 games versus Manchester City. Following in Sonny's footsteps as the Man City assassin?
Look, Jack, I retired, praising Kulusevski. My job, my work was done ages ago. Now I just let everybody else, repent and, do the speaking for itself.
Dave doesn't need to speak for the Kulusevski army anymore. It sounds like he's going to pass off the presidency to someone else. Love to see that.
I'm honorary lifetime president. I was there before anybody. But now my work is done. I just need to stay silent now. His football does the talking.
Yeah, I think you'd appreciate this one, Dave. Billy saying from Jamai Simpson Pussy will be part of the Man City squad tonight. Early in his senior call-up, he's saying a name like my search history.
Oh, Billy, you do crack me up. He was on last one on Spurs there not so long ago as well. He's absolutely brilliant. I do love myself a bit of Billy. I've never even spoke to this guy, but he brings me such joy in life. So big up, Billy.
Let me know if anybody enjoyed that player's last name as well on Man City. Simon Yemain saying it only took 400 tries for us to get one of those Sarr screamers. He loves attempting them, the pop mouth Sarr, but it doesn't always seem to pay off for him. But this time it did, and he loves a good screamer. He has full confidence in his ability from range, and you just wish some of those were to land a bit more often. But it does show the technique that he does have, the way that he was able to hit that into the back of the net. Does show that he does know how to strike them. He does know how to hit them well. He's not just someone that's just blindly just blasting it. He is a guy that does know how to strike a ball really well there. And Dartson G. Oh yeah, about to say.
No, go on.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I've always said, I think Sarr does have superb technique. It's just about bringing his whole game together and finding a spell of consistency.
Mm-hmm. And I was just going to get to Dark Sun G in the chat here. Donovan Osterreicher saying, I'm worried about Cash injuring our players again. And then Donovan Osterreicher saying, don't be Dark Sun G. Romero and the lads will absolutely clatter him. A lot of people are fearful of Cash, and other people just want us to plant one nice and early on Matty Cash. And then also Dark Sun G saying, that game, all our goals were canceled by offsides. Yeah, I just remember also just some wasted chances. I remember Kulusevski having a really good game, but also missing some opportunities. I remember there were some other really good opportunities where we were just clean through and behind, and we just couldn't get a goal out of it. Like you say, some offsides there. And I remember Pau Torres got a goal really against the run of play. That was like a pretty frustrating one. It's just a difficult game to comprehend. And we've been there before, Dark Sun G, where we felt like we played well, but we didn't get the points that we think we deserved. And I remember that Aston Villa game at home from last season being a prime example of one of those. But Dave, you looking forward to anybody clattering Matty Cash nice and early in the game?
Yeah, I think there'll be a plan in motion for someone to deal with him nice and early, to be quite frank. No, pardon the pun, but it's time to cash in. You know, the guy's assassinated a few Spurs players over the years. He done Bentancur when he came back from injury, didn't he? So, yeah, I think there's a few Spurs players out to get him. And hopefully, I'm just hoping he finds himself in around Romero. I'm hoping, because that guy will do something within the laws and get away with it.
That's what Donovan seems to suggest, is that Romero will be our assassin for that game, Dark Sun G, by the looks of things. Tyler's in the house. Good to see you, Big T, saying time to make Timo Werner a permanent deal. What a player. Tyler, what have you been doing today, friend? What have you been doing? What are you doing, T? What's up with it? What's in your head? What's going on now?
I bet you Tyler put him in his FIFA team last night. I bet
He's desperate to see some Timo love. Love that from Big T. And the Big D as well has gifted out a membership to GKD. Thank you very much for sending that out.
Goalkeeper. Number 2.
Big up to the Big D. Please thank the Big D in the chat, GKD, if you are listening along. And also you can come on the fan show. You can join us for that. You can send in a fan cam after a game if you would like. Please take advantage of it. And also you get access to every single members only video and members match previews, which I think you'll definitely enjoy. So really take advantage of that membership from the Big D. And thank you, the Big D, for spreading the love of the Irish Hotspur members community. Thank you very much, my friend. And Ilmatic, good to see you. Our man out in New York. Balu's in here as well as Rieman's son. Really appreciate you both. Tottenham Hotspur saying another top performance, double assist from our man Dejan, Dave. Double assist from Dejan with the Player of the Match award.
Yeah, it was a brilliant ball for Timo Werner. For the first goal, it was absolutely brilliant. He had a very good performance last night. And look, it's great. You know, we're going to see more of these. It's almost like a Hollywood motion picture when Kulusevski gets moving on the ball. It's fantastic. And it's time to bring in Al Dante Super Chat to match with it, since we're on Kulusevski. He says, I've always been here back in Decky. And you know what? You have been. That's why I remember a long time ago I made you, vice president of the Kulusevski army, my man Al Dante. So, you know, you've got a very important role to play. And it's great when you stick by a player and you see him sort of produce this. But I'd argue, you know, we could see it coming. You know, you could see there was a good footballer in there. And Raymond's son also says, Dave, I've been a part of the Kulusevski army for a long while now as well. No, look, there's been a few of us, but, you know, there was a lot of people that, you know, don't forget, there was cash in on Kulusevski. Should we sell him? You know, I wasn't entertaining any of that nonsense. Now we've got Coutinho, indeed. Sorry about the sirens passing by here, everybody. Dave saying, my effing club this, Dave, 1-0, 2-1. It's just the symbol of Tottenham Hotspur now, isn't it? Losing to Crystal Palace on Sunday, only to then beat Man City midweek. We even said to the members, we did a members match preview, everybody, and that was the title of the stream was, wouldn't it be the most Spursy thing in the world to lose to Crystal Palace only to then beat Man City in the next game in midweek? And that's exactly what we did. It's almost like we all knew it was going to happen. James Harris. That's what we do, mate.
It's what we do. We are, mate. James Harris, in the tradition of the silliest fixture in football, friendship-powered Timo Werner scores a brace tonight. Dave, that's seems how it always works. Just the power of Tottenham Hotspur, the tower of Spurs friendship versus Pep Guardiola tactics. That's the root. That's the answer. That's how you beat Pep. The power of love.
It seems like it. Seems like it. You know, you just gotta have camaraderie, willing to work together, willing to dug in. And you know what's hilarious? That kills Guardiola because he knows that, right? He knows that it's like these guys, they're just gonna run for each other. And that we're a much better team, superior players, and they still can't find a way of beating it. You know, it kills him inside that.
And as well, Sean Wolf saying City fans are good sports, joining in with the freed from desire. They actually were as well. It's actually quite funny. See, Dave, the
Let's give
Man
us
City
a
fans.
listen.
We're out by the left, you know, in the initial part of the video.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Xander THFC saying not tweeting until Timo Werner scores a goal July 20th. And then he's woken up, Dave. He's woken up his account. He's back alive. He's in existence on Twitter again. Good to see that from Xander. Leslie saying,
You know what? There's
yeah.
There's some people in this world, you know. There's some people I just don't understand, but they crack me up.
Leslie saying sunny after the game with the players. I actually like to see this, you know, nice little hug for Vicario earlier and a kiss on the cheek, giving hugs to Dominic Solanke there, whispering maybe some words of encouragement to him. Archie Gray and him seem to have a special relationship as well. Just our Capitan right there, you know, wishing the players well and showing them the love and support that they deserve. You know, it's nice to see that from our man Sonny. THFC Jackson saying every time we rest a Dogie, his ass has to come off the bench before the 10th minute.
It's so true.
It's
so true. Big up, Jay.
That's
Great
one of my favorites. That was one of my favorites from this one.
You don't laugh, you cry.
As well as the Giga Ange. I thought the Giga Ange was absolutely brilliant. El Dante with a super chat. Thank you for the support. El Dante saying, I've always been there backing Decky. Dave, I think you and El Dante, maybe you guys have to retire, you know, sort of walk into the sunset of Dejan Kulusevski. Find a new player to be backing. Find a new player to support. Find a new army to lift up and raise. And you know, you'll look back on your days as the Kulusevski presidents, you yourself and El Dante, and you know, look back at it fondly. Walk into the day on Kulusevski sunset.
First one to retire in Stockholm is the biggest Kulu fan.
El Dante might be retiring alongside with you.
Probably lives in Sweden. He's probably already there.
He's probably already retired himself as the Kulu president. Big up to you, El Dante. Absolutely love that. And Dejan Kulusevski, by far, I think, has been the best player this season, the most consistent as well. The only really bad game that you could point out might have been the most recent one with Crystal Palace. But apart from that, he's actually been really consistent this season and brilliant for us. Axel THFC saying, I can low-key feel it, the Carabao Cup and the Europa League. I have real sights on the Europa League, and I would love if the League Cup were to come in there as well. But I am just going to be satisfied with just one trophy this year. I'm not going to be too picky there, Axel. No score draw, saying, have supported Spurs for 33 years and still don't fundamentally understand them. No, I don't think it is a team that you can really understand fully or a club you can't ever understand. It's just the elusive and the very confusing Tottenham Hotspur part of the life.
The next one sums it up, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, Aina saying, you're telling me we ended Crystal Palace's losing streak and ended Man City's winning streak. It's just who we are, mate. It's just who we are. Man. Billy saying, it is the most Tottenham thing ever that the best side in the country who have dominated the sports for years have us as a bogey team. Yeah, we're the best team of all time's bogey team. Debatably the best Premier League side of all time. Debatably the best team to ever exist in the Premier League, and we happen to be their bogey team. It is just we always stay relevant, Dave. That's the thing. Spurs, you know, we're always on the path to being the most relevant club in every situation possible.
It's probably why we're the most hated team, you know. Best team in the land, and we're their bogey team. No wonder why.
Love to see that. DJ AK saying, big up, lads. Big up, guys. My Pape top-class track. If that was messy, people wouldn't stop talking about it. Coys, we are Man City's kryptonite. Yeah, if only it was, maybe it would be all over, you know, the social medias if it was anybody else but Pop Montasar. But eventually people will get word of his brilliance, you would think, DJ AK. Eventually the word will start passing around. Talking THFC saying, me watching that Sarr goal back.
Oh, brilliant. What a strike.
Cody Mack saying, chip in a chair, baby. We smoking that city pack tonight. Let's go. I think that was Davis last night as well. This is also, I think, Mark, if you're still listening, this is what we had saved for the back post. Spurs back post defenders when a cross comes in.
It's so true, like it, you know, it hurts so bad, but it's so true.
What an image. What an image. What an image. Absolutely brilliant.
Mark can enjoy that one.
Maddie's saying, yes, the full spectrum of human emotion in a single week following Tottenham Hotspur Football Club.
Yeah.
Dave, just the full circle, right?
It keeps you alive, though, isn't it, Jack? Keeps you alive, you know. It keeps you alive. The whole spectrum within a week. It's just making sure, just testing to make sure you're still human.
Good to see so many people joining us. Thank you for joining us, Red Sports. Thank you, Riemann Sun. Thank you, DJ AK, Balu as well, Illmatic, Wayne Francois, great name as well. We're so Spursy. We can turn from Care Bears into Gremlins within a second. Absolutely love that, Wayne. Alpesh Patel, thank you for joining us. Alpesh, good afternoon. Under the weather after being at the game last night, but what a win. Let's keep it going. It's one of many games to win. Come on, you Spurs. Absolutely, Alpesh. And you know, don't necessarily blame you for feeling a little bit under the weather. Great win. You're probably celebrating into the evening. And it looked like a cold one. You know, I saw Sonny had a blanket, you know, saw some other people, some pretty big overcoats. So it might have been a chilly one last night. So, you know, early into the fall, kind of winter weather, it's probably to be expected, you know, having a nice night out in the cold. And, you know, sometimes your body just can't take it the next day. Just too much Spurs in one evening, too much good vibes in one evening. You end up catching a cold. Big up to you, Alpesh Patel. Appreciate your support as well.
When I get to a game, it'd be nice to meet you down there at some point, Alpesh. You know, it'd be nice to meet you, my man.
And THFC Micah saying, a Sarr long shot has finally went in. No, it's just too hard to believe. It's too good to see. Luke at THFC saying City were unbeaten until they faced a Werner dagger. Mr. Black saying Van de Ven injury. I literally do not have a meme that describes how distraught I am. I think we're just, you know, just trying to cope with it as best we can. This is what made the thumbnail here, Dave. No context, Tottenham. I'm here to win titles, says Timo Werner.
I don't think you picked the right club for that, Jack.
I can't believe that's actually
should have went to Celtic.
I can't believe that's a real quote from Timo. So the Spurs web said if Timo could finish, he'd win the Ballon d'Or.
Yep.
Kulusevski, 2 assists. I like that one from Voudvik Horsted. Just too much good feelings. And then Billy saying, you guys said you didn't like how we played against Man City. Show us how it's done then. Billy showing him how it's done.
I think that was me and Jack last night when we got off the live stream.
Troll Football saying every Premier League team fears Man City. Man City fears Tottenham.
It's so true, though. It's so true. I love it.
And then also as well, Patty saying our fans were immense tonight, really showed what getting behind the team can do and push them up a level. Fair play to everyone. Like I said, Dave, I got a lot of signs from Twitter as well as just in general from the watch along chat last night that the fans were really loud. They were really up for it, and they were pushing the players on. And I think especially towards the end, I heard that they were singing lots of songs, trying to will the players to that final minute. So, you know, fair play to the fans putting in a shift last night.
The old 12th man last night, Jack, you know, that's what it's about. And, you know, I think, I hope the players recognise that because off the back of the Palace game, it was piss poor. So hopefully they recognise the fans turned up despite the Palace game. You know, was the 12th man last night, and hopefully now they can go and give the away fans something to cheer about against Aston Villa. Riemann
Sun saying, what a feeling, what a night, oh, what a night. Watching Tottenham on a Thursday night.
We play City because they're fucking shite.
Great
what a feeling, what a night.
Ange Ball, will Ange start Matters Sunday? I think he probably would, but maybe he's thinking Aston Villa. Does he want to go a bit more conservative with kind of defensive options like Pop Sarr? Hard to say, but personally, I like the 2 number 10s playing Maddison and Kulusevski together, unless there really is a strong reason to go a bit more conservative. But I don't know. I guess we'll find out when Dave puts out his predicted lineup for the next game, but also as well as what Ange Postecoglou ends up picking. But Dave, I mean, quickly maybe to Ange Ball, what would you start? Matters on Sunday?
No.
Go
You
with
got to
Sarr.
earn the right to play. Yeah, you got to earn the right to play. Aston Villa are going to mix it up. I'll go with Papa Sarr. And it's nothing against Maddison. It's just you can't drop Kulu right now, unfortunately. And I don't know. It's a tough decision to make. It's a tough decision to make. But I do think against Villa, and I've said this, against the bigger teams, you can only go with number 10, and you're going to have to go with who's in the most form.
And Dark Sun G saying, imagine if we didn't have Europa and Carabao Cup after losing to Brighton and Palace, our mood would be horrible for a longer period. Now the mood is only gone 3 days later. Yeah, that is the brilliance of it, is that you get those opportunities to bounce back, Dark Sun G. And I think Ange also appreciates it as well, right? He even said that the benefit of having these midweek games is so that you can bounce back a bit quicker if you need that opportunity. But also, sometimes, you can't just work on everything at the training ground. You need to work on things in game scenarios, in the real time with real consequences. And you can take maybe more from that than you would actually from, a good session at the training ground or something like that. And Spurs, I think, are really benefiting from having more and more games this season. But that's why we have to stay in these cups, because if we stay in these cups, we get more and more midweek games. You don't want to be knocked out too early. But Dave, I mean, exactly right. If we had, lost to or after losing to Brighton and Palace, it's nice that we have these midweek games to cheer ourselves up with and make it feel like, it's not all doom and gloom each and every weekend after a Premier League game.
And I think that was the struggle with last season, right? Sometimes we had a whole week between games. A lot of times we had 2 weeks between games at some points, or 10 days. There was a lot of periods without games. And when you lose, that's all you've got to talk about, until the next game sort of happens. Whereas now they're coming in thick and fast. So you can sort of dust off a loss very quickly. And if it's great for us fans, you can only imagine how good it is for them players, the manager to a certain degree as well, to not have that mood hanging on for so long, Dark Sun G. And you know what? Very well pointed out. It's not something I would have necessarily reflected on, so fair play. And just quickly, I do apologise, Marcus, correctly, we're playing Villa at home, so that means Maddison can play. Playing at home, we can play 2 number 10s. Maddison can play.
Artist T saying, in my opinion, we should rest players for that Southampton match. Curious by elaborate on that a bit further, Artist T. Elaborate on that a bit more for me. Maybe I'm missing the point there. Sports Lover saying the respect Pep shows to Ange. He knows Ange is a very good manager. Well, Pep usually has a good eye for a good player as well as for good managers and as well as for good football, you'd think. Sports Lover, appreciate your support though in the chat.
We're in the City group together. They were in the City group together, and Guardiola recommended Postecoglou to the Celtic owner for the job there. That's how they ended up getting onto Postecoglou in the first place. So, he's a lot of respect there for him.
Been impressed from the get-go, and even Ange Postecoglou at one point, I think, faced him with his Brisbane Roar side or one of his Japanese teams, I believe.
Barcelona.
Yeah, Barcelona, and ended up, I think, controlling the majority of possession or something like in the game that he
played. That was Yokohama. Yeah, that was Yokohama Marinos.
Yeah, he was able to control the majority of possession and the game despite playing with a Japanese squad versus Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. That's a pretty decent accomplishment, if you ask me. And I really appreciate the support, Dark Sun G, from earlier. And I completely agree, man. That is the benefit of having these games on a more regular basis. We get to cheer ourselves up. And also maybe we don't have to overreact to every single, fixture. We can kind of just say, and we even kind of said that day, we were like, listen, this was a terrible performance against Palace. But we have 2 really important up-and-coming games that we have to dust ourselves down for. You kind of, yes, you can be doom and gloom, but you got to get up a brave face, because we have a game on Wednesday and on Sunday that are crucial to this season. So I think that's the good benefit, Dark Sun G, is that we didn't have to be doom and gloom for a whole week before the Aston Villa game. We had an opportunity to kind of lift our spirits again. And that's a good benefit to have of these midweek fixtures. Donovan Osterreicher sending in the weight emoji, Dave. I mean, the weight room is definitely going to be hit after a nice Spurs win. I bet Donovision's, pumping the iron, getting a nice good hike in or a good run in as well. It just feels good to have a Spurs win because it just makes the workout sessions even easier, Donovision. For me, I don't know about you, but it makes it even more fun to, hit the gym or go on a nice little kind of exercise of some kind. But big up to you, my friend. Really appreciate the support. And thanks for sending that in. When Francois
big up Eugene as well, sneaking in there, and Charles Ingram as well. Great to see you.
Big up to Eugene. Really appreciate you supporting this channel, my man, and good to have you with us today. Artist T saying it's on a Sunday, then we immediately play United on a Tuesday unless they move it to a Wednesday. So maybe then we rest players for the Southampton, or rest players during the Southampton game, then 4 games after that, I guess. Artist T. Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, Dave, in a nutshell, 1-0, 2-1.
It's so true. So true. So true. Oh, so basically, what RST means, just quickly, Jack, is we're playing Southampton on the 15th of December, and 2 days later they want us to play Man United. So they're going to have to move that fixture by a day or two. So that's why he's saying rest place for the Southampton game and save yourself for United.
Sorry about that little truck noise on the outside. Nabil N17 saying, any Arsenal fans out there? I've got a genuine question. When you're on Sky Sports, do you ever get ex-Spurs players on commentary? We seem to have Alan Smith on most Spurs games, and he effing hates us. Yeah, that's only the life of a Spurs fan, really. And then Propspur saying, so Solanke can be fouled, but isn't allowed to hold up the ball. Got it. Dave, the referee at one point last night was ridiculous.
It was a joke. Even take yourself back to the Man City goal, right? I think he gave them he gave a soft free kick from a throw-in before that. We threw the ball up. The two City players challenge each other. The ball falls to Dominic Solanke. All of a sudden, he gives a free the other way, which is a joke. And then the goal. Dom Solanke holds the ball up. The player clearly puts his shoulder on Solanke, pulls him to the ground, and he just goes, get up, Solanke, play on. Absolutely disgusting from the referee last night. You know, that's Michael Oliver. That's Rob Jones. How many more referees? Because there's only a list of 20-odd. How many more are going to be anti-Tottenham?
No, it's just absurd, that one play where he was giving Man City all these nitpicky, really kind of soft, sensitive type of fouls. You know, anytime that we even nudged a Man City player, he was quickly on it, you know, to give them a free kick. And then you literally see Ruben Diaz throw Solanke to the ground while he still has possession of the ball, just throws him to the floor. And the referee just shakes it off, you know, tells him to get up. It was just absurd during that game. A few people I saw on Twitter were really upset with the referee last night. Zeus saying, Man City were unbeaten this season. We just reversed Dr. Tottenham to them.
The new meaning of Dr. Tottenham.
I think people would enjoy this one. Simon Humane saying this is becoming a regular thing. Yes, it is. Pop Matasar scoring those goals. He's becoming a goal scorer, baby. And also been playing some really nice passes of late, too. Cody Mack saying, I'm absolutely hopeless going into tonight, which is why I have hope. I think that was kind of how I felt about it. I just sort of, anytime we play Man City, I just sort of have a smirk on my face. That's what I said to Dave. Like, whether I even, even if I don't have a reason for why we'll win, I just know that we will when it's Man City. I just know that we will. Carly saying, manifest it with me. Timo Werner goal. Well, it was manifested. Everybody prayed to the Timo gods and the football gods last night and got their reward. Patty Power saying Spurs beating Man City just to get a draw against a resurgent Man United, while Arsenal beat Preston and get Palace at home. That's Tottenham heritage.
Yep. I told you that was going to happen last night before the draw even happened. We'll get a big team and all the others will get easy draws. I knew it.
And then also Gabriel Jesus and Timo Werner both on the score sheet on the same day. This is truly the spookiest time of the year.
You know, I love Paddy Power. I absolutely love Paddy Power.
No, they have the best sense of humor. Gus saying, can we talk about that Pape goal for a sec? One of the goals of the season, if you ask me, especially just when it comes to any of our long shots. We haven't had too many real, bangers from distance now, have we, this season, Dave?
No, we've had the Basuma Screamer. We've had one from Sarr. Look, we were treated to a few from Van de Ven last year, I suppose, Romero, but I'd like to see maybe Kulu step up with a couple more, or Madison step up, or Porro even step up with a few more from distance, because they're all capable.
Yeah. Zeus saying, Basuma, what an effing save. Laugh my ass off. Whee! Says Cody back. Yeah,
off the line.
We were battling towards the end there. We were really suffering. Zeus saying, can the refs stop giving them every single 50-50? Billy saying, hand Dragishin's agent the mic. He's earned a waffle session after that performance. Carly saying,
I can't laugh at that because his agent's a dick.
Carly saying, starting a hamstring donation for Mickey. Let me know if you want to participate. Cody Mack saying, only Tottenham could have me hopeless pre-match just to be raging about being only 2-1 up at halftime. Patty Power saying, Pep not bringing on Holland. The debt has been repaid. I think Patty Power is very well aware of the agreement there. And Big John Bass saying, I have to say this rep has been absolutely awful. And Zeus saying, this is football heritage. This is Tottenham Hotspur, when he quote tweeted saying, the stupid thing is, I reckon we beat City on Wednesday because that's just the Tottenham way. Everybody knew. Everybody knew it was going to happen. Patty Power saying people say Man City fans are all just former Chelsea fans. That's completely wrong. They're actually all former Leyton Orient fans. That's absurd to say. That's absolutely insane to say.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Al Dante saying, I'd play Bentancur, Basuma in midfield with Kulusevski versus Villa. Let Bentancur shine as he played. He was immense yesterday. I'm actually a little disappointed that maybe I didn't see that much praise for Bentancur on the social medias from what I could tell, because I can't really even say he put a foot wrong that game, Bentancur, Dave. Kind of like we saw in Manchester United. Very like Rodri level type of performance from Bentancur, where gets stuck in, covering tons of ground. Anytime he received the ball, made the right decision, didn't give it away in bad areas, was just practically flawless in that game.
No, he done it all last night. You know, he's controlling in possession, sort of calms everybody down. What I love most about is him playing through the lines. It's not the safe sort of passes, which gets Tottenham going on the attacks, but also the solidity he brings us in that position. He doesn't really vacate it too much. With Basuma, you see him push on more, or out to the right, or out to the left more. With Bentancur, he doesn't really vacate that position. So it gives us a lot more solidity there. But not only was he good in possession, you're talking about tacklers in the midfield, turning over ball, getting blocks in our own box with shots. He was outstanding yesterday, absolutely sensational. Benton class. Mercedes Benton class.
Billy saying core, I take it back, up the Timo, and a pure Timo core there. Ethan saying this has crushed me. Yeah, I think it all did. You know, it's hard to see. We just all hope that it's not too serious, but I think we are kind of preparing for the worst. And then Prof Spurs
fair
saying,
play to Basuma going down the tunnel after him to console him as well.
Point, Dave. I actually didn't see enough praise of that. Actually, maybe on the social media as I would have liked. Prof Spurs saying, by the way, that terrible Palace side just went to Villa and knocked their asses out of the cup. Maybe we just came to Selhurst Park at the wrong time, I guess. Prof Spur. Gus saying, Dom Solanke, hell of a player. F the overlap. I'm not sure what the overlap had to say about him, but
were they stating him? Maybe I'll have to listen to that.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to hear that, to be fair, because you know, he, like David said, I just don't think he's been given really enough service or really enough opportunities to even score. And when you watch him out there, he's given his absolute all. He's running until he drops, you know, practically. So the guy is technically trying his best. Carly saying, Sonny's there to randomly terrify Pep Guardiola. It probably is, actually.
Yeah.
And then Jake saying, unbelievable win. I love this club. Jesus F, that was stressful. Come on. Yeah, it was definitely a stressful one. Cody Mack saying, hell hath frozen over. And then Fighting Cock saying, lose to winless Palace on Sunday, win unbeaten Man City on Wednesday. This is just who we are. Tottenham Heritage, Dave. That's what I titled the stream. You know, beating Man City, Spurs Heritage.
No, exactly that, Jack. You know, exactly that. And, you know, one of Cody's tweets sort of summed it up. You know, two of them, actually. You know, only Tottenham can make you be angry heading into the game with no hope. And then you're raging at being 2-1 up at half time. And then the other one is, you know, having no hope for the City game weirdly gives me hope. I think many Spurs fans sort of felt like that. You know, it's like, yeah, we were awful against Palace, but we just sort of beat Man City. It's what we do. You know what I mean? It's sort of like when you have no hope and you expect nothing from Tottenham, they give you the unexpected. It's when you put expectations on Tottenham. So I think as a fan base, I think, you know, it's from now on, a Tottenham starter pack should include reverse psychology, to be brutally honest with you, you know, so that we can, you know, just go around pretending not to expect anything. And then all of a sudden, Tottenham lift the Premier League trophy. It'd be brilliant.
Should be one of the, you know, laws of the universe, you know, laws of gravity, you know, laws of, you know, air, you know, all that type of thing. You know, one of the laws should be Tottenham just beat Man City at home. It's just a guarantee. It's just who we are. It's just what the world is like. But I think that is the end of the Twitter Reacts here, everybody. Really appreciate you guys for joining us for this one. If you can, smash the like button. From what I can tell, we've had well over 100 people in the house for this, but I only see about 50 likes. So if we could get that closer to 100 likes, be very appreciative. It just sends this out to more and more people to watch this one back. Thank you for joining us live for it, though. I think it's been immense vibes. It's been absolutely wonderful hanging out with you guys, you know, enjoying the win even more, lapping it up, just reliving it to the best way that we can, you know, via the Twitter Reacts. So really appreciate you guys. Thank you to Dark Sun G. Thank you to Donovan Osterreicher. Thank you to the Big D. Thank you to El Dante. Thank you to MV Joker Davis for supporting the channel with some donations as well. And what we have coming
up, Halloween.
Dave? Happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween, right. First of all. Jedi Spence-tacular or Spooktacular, Jedi of the Dead instead of Shaun of the Dead. You know, a few Halloween stuff we can get onto today. But happy Halloween, everybody. Hopefully you all have a great evening. Most importantly, do stay safe because, you know, fortunately sometimes people get wild on Halloween. So make sure you stay safe. And that's the most important thing. What's coming up? Well, what is coming up? Well, tomorrow we have to get all of our stuff done for ahead of the weekend for the match day and stuff like that. Yeah, we'll get fantasy updates out as well at some point. And yeah, just stay tuned and we'll see what's coming up tomorrow, basically, because I don't know myself right now, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, I would say fantasy updates we'll have to push for maybe tomorrow, so join us for those ones, please, all of you lovely members. We apologize we didn't get the one for last week, but we'll make up for it, we promise. Members match only preview, channel predictions, should be recording that tomorrow. And then also, I'm just going to put a link in here to the chat, please. Dave will be running if he can. I'm, just depending on some availability here. But if it is going to go through, do stay alerted or do stay on the lookout for. We are going to be doing an Arsenal hate along this weekend. Arsenal are playing Newcastle. Newcastle are hosting them at St. James's Park. I think Dave is going to do a little watch along for that one. So you can come on, join him, have a chat, talk about life, talk about Spurs, talk about hating Arsenal, all of our favorite things to do, and just sort of have a nice little session together. We keep each other company, hang out as a community, and enjoy each other. So please, if we are available for it, it's only kind of, it's not totally confirmed yet, but if it does happen, just stay alerted. Reserve a little bit of time Saturday. Come hang out with Dave for the Arsenal game.
Basically, 100%. And look, I am going to be nervous because it's going to be no Jack. So please, I beg someone, please don't leave me there on my own. Make sure you get over. At least have a few people in the chat so we can have a bit of a laugh. It's basically we're going to get to know Dave more, educate Dave. But also we're going to talk good food. It's basically like being down in the pub. Sitting back, relaxing, basking in the winning ambience. While we laugh at our rivals. Who doesn't want a bit of that? So make sure you get across there and join me.
Please do, everybody. But we'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for the support today. And hit that like button on your way out, please. And we'll look forward to many more content over this weekend and basking in this lovely win, enjoying it to the best of our ability. And we'll see you all over for the weekend for Sunday, as well as some more content that's going to be coming out tomorrow as well as Saturday. But appreciate you guys. Come on, you Spurs and the big Ange we trust. What a great win that was. See you next time, everybody.
And in the name of Werner, Auf Wiedersehen.